Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast. Today we're on with the Hou Bill talking our Friday recap, NHL or NFL schedule releases, PGA Championship, and our weekend picks. This episode sponsored by Way Good. Davis is still going for that six-pack. He says he's extending the date, but we're not going to allow it. Check out Way Good today for all your sweet treats for that sweet tooth, full of protein to help you lose weight or gain weight, whatever you're looking forward to this summer. All right, let's go. All right, fellas. We've had a heavy week of sports. We've had WNBA start. We've had hockey. We've had baseball. We've had NBA. We've had the NBA draft combine. We've had a coaching hire. We've had a bunch of stuff like that come through. As Davis likes to tell me, we need to go in order. So we're going to go in order from last week to this week. And I'll start it out with the Braves have a no-hitter, I think, going into the seventh inning. They pull the starting pitcher who has that 104 pitches. The next pitcher continues a no-hitter until the bottom of the ninth inning with two out. He was 3-2 count, I'm pretty positive. He throws some meat right down the middle. Dude hits it to like between center and right field, loses the no-hitter. Would you have pulled the pitcher?
104 pitches is a lot of pitches, man.
It is.
My first start as a high schooler, I had a nasty 65-mile-an-hour fastball, and about halfway through the first inning, my arm was miserable. So I had to go back to center field because I couldn't do it. Wasn't built to be a pitcher. So respect to those guys.
We have texted Easton and asked if that was too many pitches.
That'd be a safe bet. Or like, hey, like, what would you tell your manager if he tried to pull you while you had a no-hitter going?
Yeah.
Well, heck, I feel like you need to trust your infielders and outfielders to, get you the three outs too. If you got a no-hitter, you're running on adrenaline. No one's talking to you. So, you got to trust that your boys are going to back you up on that one.
That is a valid point. I feel like, though, if he wasn't – I know this is kind of probably a stupid statement, but if he wasn't at the 104 mark, if he was at like 70, I think they probably would have kept him. But I think when you start getting up to that 85, 90 mark, it's like, all right, well, the no-hitter's cool, but how's that arm going to feel in a week after he's pitched all this time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's the beginning of the season too.
True.
I can see what they're thinking, but if I was the manager, I'd have kept him in there. Gave him an extra couple of days of rest.
I probably would have considered it as well.
If it's MLB The Show, he's staying.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's staying.
And you're going to struggle to throw a strike.
Yeah.
Just hope they swing.
Just keep throwing the slider. You'll be fine.
So that's what I'm good at. I swing at every pitch. So I'm not very good at the show.
I swing at every pitch, but it's always a miss. Like I always just go down the middle, even though the ball's never there.
Yeah,
the pitch will be up top, and I'm dropping that PCI all the way down to the dirt. I look like a fool.
My character falls forward whenever I swing.
Well, I don't get to have the show now because I have a PC, so they don't have that. Speaking of which, I did not realize that NCAA 25 was going to be Xbox and PlayStation only.
You got to come back. That's all it is.
Come back. I don't
know if I can do
that. That's tough. Next, I got Rory wins the Wells Fargo last Sunday. He did it pretty commanding. He comes into, which we'll get to in a little bit, the PGA Championship, but he's coming to the PGA Championship off a divorce, and we'll get to that stat here in a little bit. But congrats, Rory. I know it's been a struggle for him since he started being the voice of the PGA Tour against Liv, but it's nice to finally see him get one. It was supposed to be the next Tiger Woods, and I'm glad he got to get one again since 2014.
I don't really remember what gave him like that little run where he was like the greatest golfer in the world. Man, he's been a disappointment.
Bad. And I bet on him almost every other tournament. Like I sprinkle like a $5 or $10 on him, and it just never works.
He's a good guy. Like I like him a lot, and it's just disappointment every single time I feel like I watch him. But in my opinion, honestly, the week before a major, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. But, hopefully that means he's playing well because, he did play pretty well today at Thursday. I haven't looked at the leaderboard.
I want to say he shot a 66 today. I think I saw that.
Yeah. I saw Scotty on 13, and then I left the house. So I need to look and see who's got what right now. But, yeah, Roy wins the Wells Fargo, like you said, week before a major. You didn't even have Scotty there because his wife was having their baby. So I don't think it's an asterisk, but it's close to one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he deserves one.
Speaking of people not being in there playing, Donovan Mitchell doesn't play a crucial game 4 versus Boston, and I'm almost positive he may be out tomorrow.
Yeah, he's out tomorrow because the Cavs.
No, he was out yesterday.
Yeah, they're done. They're on their way to Cancun.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, but he didn't play. He didn't play Saturday, right? And then he didn't end up playing Tuesday.
It's like the last 2
Or Monday.
games that they
I think
had.
it's
Yeah, he
Monday.
didn't play. He didn't play Saturday and Monday. So I don't know why that man didn't play. That's a crucial series. I mean, you've got one game under your belt. It wasn't like the series was a blowout. It wasn't 3-0. I can understand that, but
He is getting his body right to go to his next team,
that's insane.
which is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies.
You know,
No,
I
they're
saw
taking a
that
chip.
today on
That would
on
be-
Twitter.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty hype.
I
Do
think
you
it's what
the
they
stuff is
need.
true that he's going to go to either the Grizzlies or the Lakers?
I think Miami's probably you're going to have to knock Miami out of that contest. They've got to get somebody this offseason. And I don't know who else coming out, but I know he's one of the bigger names.
Yeah, that is true. I mean,
Especially if they lose Jimmy, which everything's pointing in that direction.
is it really? I haven't even seen that.
Would
From
you
what I've
want
seen.
Jimmy back though? I mean, I feel
I
like
do,
he's
but
getting on
I-
that end of the
Yes,
his
yes.
time.
That's it. I would like Jimmy back. He is like one of my overall favorite players to watch. But I don't like paying a lot of money to guys that are got about a year or 2 left. And in the past 2 years, every time we get to the postseason, like it's just injury after injury. So I don't know. Maybe time to let him walk, sadly.
But
Yeah,
where would
because
he
you don't
go
want to keep.
though? That's the thing. Like, I feel like
Philly.
the way he plays is
Back to Philly,
perfect
get
for
rid of
Miami.
Tobias.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
does make
everybody-
sense.
He's gone. It don't matter who they
Yeah,
get. They
but
could
I mean,
get
you get rid of
Boris
him.
Diaw out there. He's gone.
But what kind of money is he going to want to command from them? Because the whole point of getting rid of Tobias is now you free up a lot of cap. They're not going to want to give it right back to Jimmy.
I think they're going to get Paul George. I think
can
he'd
see
be
it. We talked about
perfect
that a
for
couple weeks ago,
Embiid
too.
game.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago when we said, where's Paul George going to end up? And Philly makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He could go back to the Thunder. I've also heard KD might go back to the Thunder or Russell Westbrook. What if
Maybe
we got a
all three.
reunion?
And James Harden.
Oh my
Hey, you might as
gosh.
well bring him. If you're going to bring back them two, you might as well bring James Harden back.
Run all the young kids off.
Hey, they'll learn what the club's like. You get James Harden out there, he knows the best spots out there.
SGA is going to start dressing for the club. It's going to be crazy.
I've seen something with OKC. I think it was a Czech commercial with Katie narrating it, and they kind of showed the skyline with the city on my back.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was like, why does KD want to come home? And I to be completely honest with you, the only reason I loved the Thunder when I did was because KD was there, and when he left, I was like, I'm going to ride it out because, they got Paul George in there and Russell Westbrook. And then when that ended, I was like, well, I'm in the pits of hell now as far as an NBA team. And it's gotten better. Let's put it like that. It's gotten a lot better since that day's happened.
Well, you're looking downhill right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're not looking too good.
No.
Well,
It's not
they've
true.
really done good with like getting some guys like, they had a bunch of first round draft picks, but not all of them were like top 10. They've really hit on like the back end, like both Jalen Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I've never really sat and watched OKC till this playoffs, and dude, both of them are just like clutch after clutch. And
Yeah.
they're just hitting on all their picks. I mean, they got like 30, so like they're gonna hit on a couple of them, and it's if you're an OKC fan, you're sitting pretty right now.
No, I agree. Speaking of OKC, I put in here the Thunder clapped back in Game 4 against the Mavs. They beat them 100-96, and then they come out yesterday and they lose 104-92. So the series, Dallas leads 3-2 right now, and they play tomorrow. No, they play Saturday.
No, the Knicks play tomorrow.
They play Saturday
Go New York.
at Dallas.
They're lucky. They should have been put out yesterday. Game 4, I mean, they outscored Dallas 35-27. I mean, the third quarter, Dallas was up pretty much 10-14 the whole time. Dallas blew that game. So that was a game Dallas should have won.
Yeah.
But, a win's a win. Went tied 2-2, and then they didn't make it happen yesterday.
No, and you're going back to Dallas, and it looks like, let me see what Saturday spread is. Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite, which obviously they're at home. I can see the Thunder squeaking one out in Dallas, coming back home and losing. I would like for that not to happen, but I think that's what probably will happen, because I think Luka will be pissed off if they lose Game 6, come back Game 7 on Monday and be like, all right, we're not losing this, and go off for like 40 points and hit 5 threes would be some bullshit that he does. But
triple-double.
yeah, I got a Jokic for a triple-double tonight, so hopefully that happens. Even though it's 9-7 right now with 7 minutes to play in the first, so that's nice.
Well, thankfully they're playing right now, and it's not midnight.
Yeah, that's
awesome. My gosh.
That's
goodness.
awesome. Bill, your Knicks beat the Pacers by 30 in Game 5.
Go, New York, go, New York, go.
How does that feel?
Are we going to ignore Game 3 and 4?
Yes.
I was going to let you get there.
That's out the window. All right.
Yeah. The past is the past. Just close the book.
Yeah. Hey, we'll just win this series, get everyone in New York as crazy as they've been, and then don't get swept by Boston. That's all it is. You win 2 games against Boston, New York's happy. I'm happy if they win 2. I just hope they don't run out of gas, because I love the Nova Knicks out there doing their thing. They get me so high. DiVincenzo, splash.
So here's the thing, Bill. You're going where on Friday?
Lexington.
Indy. To get into the Indiana building, it's $58. You could take a trip up and go see.
I might have to rally the Lexington boys.
Yeah, but how cool would it be? How cool would it be? New York loses Game 6. It's tied 3-3. It won't be cool for your stress levels. I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah. No.
But to go into Sunday, Game 7, tied 3-3 in New York at the Mecca and win it in there would be kind of fun.
I think that's NBA basketball personified. You get the Knicks in the Mecca, Game 7 to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's about as good as it gets, next to obviously going to like the NBA Finals and then having that at Game 7. But, man, they're so decimated with injuries. And, man, I don't know how Jalen Brunson keeps doing it. Davis, you're the hooper. B-Doss, you're the hooper. When you get on a roll of, like, you're just hitting everything and you're getting to your spots, like, do you just feel like everything goes in?
I can speak to this on the high school level, so I don't know about the professional level, but yes, whenever you kind of hit a few shots, it's just, just keep tossing it up there.
Hey, let it fly.
But like I said, high school level, Region 1 high school level in Kentucky.
Final score 26-30.
Yeah, Region 1 where they play 5-man or 4-man, 1 out or 1 in defense or offense, and
can't hand check anybody.
Yeah, you can't press, you can't do all that.
Like
I can hear it now from our friend group for me saying this that I don't know ball, but yeah, it's kind of, I feel like it's a high school or it's like a NHL goalie. You kind of just don't talk to him about it. You don't mention it. Like you just kind of roll with it.
Just let him go get it.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, we know he's going to go out there and do this. If he doesn't, then I'm ready for my shot. But, and there's probably points in the game where they're like, he might miss the first 2 and you're like, shit, what do I do here? And then you just feed him again because he's got the green light, and then he hits, and it's like, okay, he found 1. He's going to find more. Let's go.
Because, like, you got to think, like, Indiana going in, and, like, Rick Carlisle was Brunson's coach in Dallas. You got to think they're like, we got to stop Jalen Brunson. Well, heck, they've only stopped him 1 game, and he still had, like, 30. So,
6 for 17 with 18 points in Game 4.
How many assists did he have?
I will get back to that.
Go ahead and look that up. He probably had like 12.
Let me pull Game 3 up. Let's see. Brunson on 26 shots. Gosh damn it. This is the James Harden stat. 26 points on 26 shots.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1 point a shot.
That's bad. 10 for 26 from the field. and we had 6 assists here. That's pretty good for Brunson, honestly.
He also
But they
had 5
lost that
turnovers.
one though. When
5
he's
turnovers,
hot, they're
yeah.
winning. Or at least you hope so, anyway.
You hope so, anyway. I don't know, man. I really want to see this series go 7, but that loss Indiana just took I feel like that's demoralizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough to bounce back from.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and I can't remember. I heard it somewhere, but it's like Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe it was you last week, or Trevor. Like he's just out there like goofing off, like he doesn't care. Like he's just like, oh, I can go out here and score 35 points and have 14 assists, but I'm cool with 15 and 7. It's like, no, bro. Like at the first of the year, you were hooping with that. Like you should probably go back to that. You're in the playoffs. You're one series away from the Eastern Conference Finals, which gets you into the finals. Like I would take it a little bit more seriously than that, but he just kind of doesn't care almost. I don't know. That's just me. Like, what do I know?
And one thing too, Tom Thibodeau is like the defensive guru. He probably has something that's like between the lines, like holding him up a little bit, if not checking him a little bit more, because they're getting away with a lot of fouls.
Well, that's also probably tiredness because he doesn't ever let his players rest, no matter what team he's on.
He's got an excuse right now because he doesn't have any players left.
That is true.
Hey, they got Alex Burks out there, corner 3.
Corner 3.
Hey, you already know.
Well, so we'll be watching for that one tomorrow night, Bill. If they can take care of it, it'd be cool. But we kind of want a Game 7. I feel like.
Hey, I'm cool with the Game 7.
JBA podcast, win it in Game 7 would be much cooler than winning it in Game 6. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
The Hurricanes, the hockey team, are making a comeback on the Rangers. They won 2 in a row. They got a big Game 6 happening right now as we're speaking. It is 3-1. They're starting a third period. Hurricanes are winning 3-1, I should say, which will force a Game 7. Are they going to – I know y'all don't – Bill probably knows a little bit more about hockey, but the reverse sweep seems like it's there, especially if they're winning right now and go back to New York Game 7. I think the reverse sweep is there.
Oh, for sure. Well, one thing about hockey, and you can attest to this, dude, if your goalie is hot, you can ride that however many games. You're never really out of a series if your goalie can get hot one game, and you can ride that the whole way. And your goalie at the Panthers is raw. Like, I know he had a bad game the other night, but like.
Well, I will say this about the other night. I normally don't do this, but watching the game and seeing the goals that were scored on the Panthers, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, there was a very big lack of defense. Like, I watched Carter Verhage literally get beat, look at the dude, and then go, "Oh shit, I got beat," and try to stick a stick out. It's like, what are we doing? You're just watching. So,
right.
But the thing is they flip flopped because the Rangers goalie was hot as all get out first series, and then going into this series, the first 2 games, he was hot, unbelievably just flaming.
They were one of the best teams in hockey.
Yeah, that's the reason they were winning is because they were like the goalie play was nuts. But now it's to the point that it's like flip flopped, and the Hurricanes, which I hate to say because I don't like the Canes either, not as much as I don't like the Bruins, but they are the Hurricanes goalie is playing like he did last year until he got to the Florida series, and that's what they needed. Davis, don't worry.
You know about hockey, Davis. What do you know about hockey?
I know the Capitals got swept by the Rangers.
Correct.
I know the Rangers beat the Predators in December one time. Alex Ovechkin needs to retire.
There it is.
PK Subban played for the Preds.
Yes.
Subban. That's it. That's all I know.
That's all you got?
Hey, that's good. Hey, that's more than I thought. It's more than I thought you'd know.
Oh, no. Sidney Crosby. Yeah, I liked him. I claimed to like him when I was a kid. I didn't know. I still don't know anything about hockey.
Evgeny Malkin.
It's over my head.
Yeah, see, that's right over.
Okay, so big Game 6 tonight. Obviously, it looks to be the Hurricanes are going to win that, force Game 7, which would be kind of great. Hope that doesn't happen to the Panthers, which we'll get to here, like I said, here in a little bit. But back to the NBA a little bit. Again, we're going in order because Davis wants us to go in order by by event. So that's
we could have done a little different.
No.
We could have gone, straight
chronological?
NBA, then gone to NHL.
We're going chronological, baby. We're bouncing back
it's
and
nice
forth.
to keep the listeners on their toes.
I don't like what we're doing right now.
Well, seems like you don't like yourself. Jokic shows why he's MVP. We finally got a home team win a game. Denver's leading the series 3-2 right now. They're playing right now against the Timberwolves at the Timberwolves. They're down 9 in the first quarter. But Jokic, we said SGA was snubbed. I don't believe that anymore. Jokic shows why he's literally the best basketball player in the world. And there's no denying it at this point. So
I mean, I think you can still make the SGA argument. I mean, I was on the Jokic train. Just because I think he's a better basketball player, but it's a regular season award.
It is, and I genuinely do think that's why Jokic won it. Is because it came out after the playoffs, and they saw how he started playing in the first series, and then all that. Like, I think that's why he got it. But if you go strictly off regular season, I think SGA wins it. But obviously, we know that they're going to get who they want to win, and that was Jokic. But the man's pretty damn good for not really giving a shit about basketball half the time.
He cares about horses, though.
He does love horses. I think we should get him to the Kentucky Derby one year. Like, say, hey, lose the first series of the playoffs so you can go to the Kentucky Derby.
Heck, he'd probably be like, this is weak horse racing compared to what I see.
Theirs are on, like, steroids. Like, they look like the horse. I think there was a horse from Family Guy that was like this. Like, that'd be his horses. I mean, to hold his big ass up, you got to be a juiced up horse, right?
Heck, he's probably riding it like back in the day in the Roman era, where he's on like a chariot thing with 2 horses.
I think that's how he rides them.
Really?
Let's go.
I think he uses a chariot.
A Clydesdale. He's got to be on one of those. Those are some big motherfuckers, right?
Yes, they are. When I was in St. Louis, we had to scoop their shit, and those are always uncomfortable times whenever you have.
As an intern?
Yeah.
Hey, it's part of it.
We had to do wastewater samples quarterly.
Damn.
We had to go scoop the hay.
Let's go, David.
We had to put it in a bag.
Hey, the pooper scooper.
Yes, I'm probably, very few people in the world that has gotten to scoop the Budweiser Clydesdale shit.
Did you get his autograph?
No, he deserves mine, though.
Did you get his specimens so that we could make another one of those and get paid a lot of money?
I wore gloves. I threw those away.
Well,
see, you weren't thinking ahead.
You weren't thinking of the future here.
No, I wasn't worried about it. I was kind of grossed out.
Well,
I'd hope so, but still,
I mean, that's got to be a massive shit. Like, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah. See, you got to go find some hay with a little bit of poop, and then you had to go find some with a little bit of pee. So you had to get a good readie.
Yeah. You got a little glass, you're measuring it.
All right. Since we're going to get off that topic. Caitlin Clark's first WNBA game was this week. She got locked up.
I don't think she's currently doing too well tonight either.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people doing WNBA bets on Twitter today, and I was like, I'm going to stay away from that because Dave Portnoy put like $10,000 on her to score 30 points in another legs of a parlay that he did not hit. And her stats looked good, but they had pulled their starters in the fourth, and she had 10 points in the fourth quarter. So
they are down 34 points right now with a minute left.
Who are they playing?
They're playing New York, the Liberty. So
and
Sabrina,
they're like the best in the WNBA. They got Sabrina Ionesco, I think that's her name, and that Stewart girl who played UConn.
Brianna Stewart.
And one thing too is Caitlin Clark got drafted to like the worst team in the WNBA. So like everything that they're game planning for is stopping her. So she's getting a step up in competition, and 2, the game plan is focused on her. And this is like her second game.
Well, all those girls hate her anyway right now.
She got them chartered flights.
Yes, they need to chill out on because somebody said they're going to go right back to flying.
Yeah, they got to quit. If they get her injured, she tears an ACL. I mean, they're walking the games. Like, they better chill the hell out.
They're going to have to get the Budweiser horses to get them there.
Oh, so how many points do you have right now?
9, 2 for 8, 1 for 7 from 3.
Oh, well, is there
That's not
3-point
good.
line? Is there 3-point line longer like NBA's, or do they play from the same college one?
Don't ask us questions we don't know.
We're supposed to
I'm
know
just
WNBA.
gonna
You
go
know
on a
we don't
limb and
know
say
that.
yes.
I think we should know that for next episode.
Well, heck,
Homework.
they're down like 40 right now.
It's
Some
almost 40.
Yeah, some NFL news for the week. Jared Goff gets paid by the Lions. Congrats, Jared. Honestly,
Hey,
that's
good for him.
good for you, brother. I mean, hot wife, a lot of money. I mean, you're living it, brother.
He's winning.
Yeah. I mean, you live in Detroit, but other than that, you've kind of got it made.
If you're the GM,
They
do y'all
worship
pay him that money?
I probably wouldn't have, but they also aren't going to get a better option now.
That was my question, or that's my kind of answer to the question.
So, I mean,
Who
obviously
else you gonna get?
he's not played terrible. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. He's actually throwing really good balls. He's not leading the league in interceptions or some bullshit like that. Like, I mean, he's playing good. I think he deserved a payday. I don't know if I would have made him that much of a payday, but I'm not going to hate on the man. Congratulations.
He's lucky he's in the NFC and not the AFC. Like the NFC is more of like the teams run the ball a lot, and you just need a quarterback who can game manage, basically.
Yeah.
And he's about as good of a game manager as you're going to get. Now, you can probably draft a guy to do what he does, but he's won there. The fans love him. His teammates obviously love him. Like, and he's there. So, like, I think you got to pay him because you're in that NFC. But if he was like on an AFC team, he's probably not getting that big of a payday, if that.
I don't know. The Lions are built though in a win now scenario. Like they're not going to get that draft pick where they can get one of those. So I think it's a move you kind of have to make.
Yeah.
He's
Agreed.
definitely more worth it than Kirk Cousins. He's already won basically as many playoff games as Kirk Cousins has.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he should have got paid. But like Bill said, for where he's playing at now, who's his competition? It's going to be Caleb Williams.
And that division is going to be tough. Green Bay,
Well, you got Jordan Love,
Chicago,
too. Yeah, you got Jordan
possibly
Love.
Minnesota.
But didn't they win the division last year, or was that Green Bay?
Lions won it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think that really kind of put him up there because they hadn't won the division in how long? It was a long time, wasn't it?
And won a playoff game.
Yeah. So, you know what, Jared? You deserve it. Get your money. Get your bread
Get
up.
that
There you
bag.
go. We got a couple more here. Panthers lose Game 5 to Boston. Game 6 is tomorrow.
You
I think
nervous?
we were in Discord, Bill, when that game was going on, and I was just not happy. It wasn't my day.
Lack of effort.
Well, it was a lack of effort in the first two periods. You go into the third period, it's 2-1. The Panthers had so many chances in the last 10 minutes to make it happen, and their goalie just played out of his mind. And I hope that what's happening to the Rangers is not happening to us, where we're like their goalies, the Canes goalie's getting hot against the Rangers, the Bruins goalie's getting hot against us. We had the chances there, but we should have started taking them earlier. And then, the first goal of the game, you're watching, and they switched the camera angle to look directly at the goal. And Carter Verhaeghe's standing there looking at the goalie, sees the dude run skate right beside him, and he's like, "Oh shit, I got to get him." And he starts to fall forward and just misses. He was too late. So I'm still going to keep talking shit on Twitter to Boston fans until this series is over and we lose. But yeah, we're favored to win in Boston Friday night. It's Chloe's birthday, so I hope they don't ruin her birthday for me because that'd be a bad day.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah, it's a double
They
whammy.
lose, and it turns out to be a bad night.
Yeah, so I have faith. I have faith that Paul Maurice has gotten in their ass the last 2 days and is going to say, "Get your shit together and win this thing." So,
hey, I've got to backtrack to the Knicks. I forgot to bring this up. Houston, did you hear about what loosened up the locker room before the game?
Somebody ripped a big old fart. That's what I saw.
The fart heard around New York.
Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
it saved the series. If they go and win it, it's all because they farted.
Listen,
game.
I'll be honest with you. No matter how old I get, farts will always be funny.
That's just the proof.
Yeah, that you can't. They can't ever not be funny.
It breaks
So
the
who
ice.
do we think did it?
Precious Achua. That's who I think did it.
I saw somebody said Josh Fart.
I could see that. That's what I was about to say. I can see Josh Hart doing some bullshit like that.
I like
That's
Precious.
Precious Achua.
Oh, NBA draft combine. Speaking, I guess thanks for going back to the Knicks. NBA draft combine is complete, right? Or today was the last day. It started.
Honestly, I don't know how long the combine is. I know it's been going on all week. That's all I know.
Yeah, so I think it was done today. If not, it's done tomorrow. But we've got some controversy because if you look at USC's roster from last year, Bronny James is listed at 6'4", almost as tall as me. If you look at his combine height, he's listed at like 6'1" and a quarter.
It's about as tall as me.
Who's lying?
Oh, for sure, him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like if they're gonna measure him at the combine, like, he's 6'1".
Yeah.
I mean, I lie about my height too. I gave myself an extra inch on my driver's license, so I don't blame the guy. Yes.
YouTube.
Bill says he's 6'6".
That's what one of my IDs one time said.
That's illegal. We can't talk about that here.
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
boy.
happen. Just kidding.
But I do feel bad for Bronny. Like you know, he's going. I feel like he's going to the draft to play with his dad. He's not going when he's like we said this a few weeks ago. Like he should wait. He should get better. Not coming off of a cardiac arrest, heart surgery type scenario. Like come in this year, go play for a new team, go get you 15, 16 points a game and prove to everybody that you're ready to be there. But he's got to know in the back of his head that the reason this is happening is because of his dad. Like, I mean, I feel bad for him because, I mean, he is a good player. He was good in high school, but, like, you kind of got to prove that. And I don't think that this kind of just proves that LeBron's GM, like we said all along.
Well, one thing, like, and I've noticed this, and don't get me wrong, coming off the cardiac arrest, everything is tough. His game is so geared toward being like a role player that he's just not going to get the looks in college.
Yeah.
Like, unless he just one day just a switch flips and he becomes like offensive minded. He's the kind of guy who's going to play really good defense and then hit like a three. And that is so geared toward an NBA. And he could carve out a 10-year career in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to do that in college. And if he gets drafted in the second round, which he probably will because of his name, he's going to play a couple years in the G League and then really form out a good role and be like a Lou Dort for like OKC.
See,
maybe not get the minutes, but
if he goes somewhere like I saw today that the Mavs, which it could be smoke for the Lakers to move up and trade up, but I saw a thing today that said the Mavs would be willing to move up and he would be in their top 8, 9 roster spots right there. I mean, like 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there to be coming off the bench and ready to go, getting 10 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I can see the Mavs wanting to try to lure LeBron in because LeBron wants to play with Luka, and then Kyrie's already there.
That is
it's
true.
a match made in heaven, dude.
I don't know.
His contract's up after this, right?
He'll test free agency. He'll see what's out there.
He's going to have to. I mean, now I will say, since we're on the NBA right now, we get back to it. He visited the Cleveland game the other night. When was the last time he visited Cleveland?
The last time he went to go see his mom? Bang.
No, the last time he visited Cleveland at a game. When he went to a game for
Cleveland. He's always playing, Brian.
Yeah, he's at when he played the Cavs at Cleveland. Was the last time.
No, the last time he went and watched a Cleveland game was the last time he went to play for the last time he signed with Cleveland. He showed up to a game, sat in the boxes, and then like a month later he signed with Cleveland.
I think we're drawing conclusions.
No.
Drawing conclusions.
If he goes back to the Cavs, do you want to? We can't bet yet because we don't know the smoke. But what are you going to do if he goes back to the Cavs?
Why is he going back to Cleveland?
What he wants to end it where it all started.
Farewell tour.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Farewell tour. He gets it. He gets where it's all started. He could That lets them re-sign Donovan Mitchell. He's got a decent point guard. He can get his son there. He can get another piece that he can play with, and he's ready to roll.
It'd be a tough sled with all the trade rumors I've been seeing the past 2 days with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. I think it'd be a hard swing to get LeBron there with that kind of you don't know. I feel like that'd be a big reason he would go. Evan Mobley.
Going back to Cleveland, Davis.
I can see him in Miami before Cleveland.
Shit.
Oh, he's going to be a Knick. That's all it matters.
Oh, bullshit.
Him and Brunson, you're talking Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Yeah, but then you've got to go through Joel Embiid and Boston to get there, which would just suck.
They've already done it.
I know, but all right. The last thing I have, I just thought this was really funny. Green Bay, the college, hired their sports radio guy, Doug, for their head basketball coach position. So he is going to coach basketball and have a radio show still, which is fucking awesome.
Let's go.
This is a scenario for the Lakers. The Lakers need to hire JJ Redick, and then
I think that's what they're doing.
Bron, come in the office. We got to record after a practice.
Yeah, I think that's what they're about to do. Somebody I saw quoted it and said that JJ is the favorite to sign with or to be the head coach of the Lakers.
That's gonna be weird, man. It's gonna be weird.
I hope it's not another Jason Kidd turnout.
Well, I will say that
JJ's smarter than that. He's a very smart basketball IQ.
Yeah, well, LeBron agrees with everything he says. I don't know if you guys have tuned into the podcast, but I think I'm about to go back to episode 1 and watch all of them, and I'm going to start a yep counter. Because can I have one of you guys break down a play? Do you have the game pulled up right now?
No, I don't. You can't stream it on here because YouTube doesn't let you stream anything now.
I need somebody to commentate a game to me or break something down. Just say something. I just need somebody to say something.
Kyle Anderson just hit a free throw.
Y'all play JJ Redick. I'll play LeBron in the podcast.
All right. Kyle Anderson just made free throw 2 for the game.
Yep.
So he's a yes man.
What kind of wine is this?
Yep.
What kind of wine is this?
Yep. I was going to say that shit too. Yep.
A flare screen. Did you get that weak side help?
Yep.
So LeBron's the yes man, and he's not actually the GM.
It's so hard to listen to.
Oh wow,
it's bad.
So
hey, but I will say them talking hearing professionals talk about for instance, that quarterback documentary when Kirk Cousins was driving and he was reading off the plays and stuff. That stuff's cool. Hearing professionals speak the lingo of professional stuff, I'm cool with that.
I think football is the coolest thing ever because there's a lot of disguises and schemes. Basketball, in my opinion, it's almost standardized to an extent. It's easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's they talk about it and it's just I can look at that and see that too. You guys are just putting big fancy words on it.
That is true. Football is way more complicated to run an offense on because you don't know if there's for example, playing Madden when Bill's watching, he's always no, you need to check out of this. He's set up in cover 2, and I'm the defense looks the exact same whether he's running 4-3 or 3-4. It looks the exact same to me. I don't know how you know this. And he's well, he's got one safety out there. I'm yeah, that obviously tells me in a 4-3 situation. But if he's got 2 safeties out there, I don't know if he's in nickel. I don't know if he's in 4-3. I don't know how that works. I just kind of watch for it. If he's got one safety back there, though, on Madden, I'm letting you know I'm going 4 verticals and getting a bomb on you. Just letting you know.
Hey, single high, let it fly.
What if the corner's playing off your man? Are you going to run a comeback? Are you going to run him back to the ball?
I'm going to run him a slant route.
What if he jumps that?
Well, I hope the CPU just runs straight.
Read.
I hope the CPU just runs straight at that point.
Give him a double move.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Anything else from last Friday to this Friday?
Yep.
Oh boy.
No, yeah. Hey, NASCAR was good again this year. NASCAR was good. So this year, I mean, we've been hot this year. I don't know if that's what I said, but yes, NASCAR has been amazing this year. If you're not tuned in, you need to tune in because NASCAR's on a heater. A lot of news came out this week. I mean, even with broadcasting and all, Amazon and TNT are getting in the NASCAR game next year.
Oh yeah,
So that's going to be pretty cool. Production's going to be cool. And then they hired Jesus Christ himself, Dale Jr., to broadcast in the booth. So Jesus Christ, Son of God, and Dale Jr. is the son of Dale Sr. Same thing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But no, we had another scenario this week at Darlington. Like I said last week, if you're not banging dudes, you're not trying to win. And we had a lot of banging at the end of the race. We had two different scenarios, just dudes banging it out. So Ford got their first win of the year. So 13 races in, Ford's finally in victory lane. Brad Keselowski wins his first race, and I think it was 102, 110, somewhere around there. So that's a lot of races. That's like 3 or 4 seasons.
Holy
So,
shit.
Yeah. It's exciting times.
Hey,
So for those who don't know, Davis gets 3 minutes of a NASCAR a week. That's your NASCAR of the week.
Get my hot lap.
Yeah. So, okay, moving on. We're going to go to the NFL schedule release. My first question for this was, what game are we attending as a podcast? Trevor's not here, so Bill, what game are you going to this year for the Chiefs? Obviously, for those not watching and listening, Bill has a Chiefs flag behind him. He's got the quarter zip on for the Chiefs. We've talked about this before on here. He can be a lot when it comes to the Chiefs.
Don't say it.
When
you have the greatest of all time
Here we go.
quarterback on your team, like,
This is what I was worried about.
you got to be excited about that.
Man ain't lying.
This is what I was worried about.
Just
So,
like
Bill-
Drake said, back to back.
Bill, what game are we going to this year? Or you? What are you going to?
Man, I'm trying to swing a Bengals Chiefs Week 2 game with my buddy Matthew. And that's definitely like, I'm one of those guys who I'd rather spend good money on a good game. And if they lose, so be it. Because, like, we went to that Titans Chiefs game a couple years ago, and dude, I was just absolutely
It
miserable.
was a good
That was
game.
the
What are you
worst game
talking about?
Yeah, a good game for y'all. It's terrible for me. Worst game I've ever seen from Patrick Mahomes, and like that's my guy. But Bengals Chiefs is going to be one tough swing, but I'm gonna try to swing for that one. If not, man, I might try to go see them play the Raiders, and like I think it's like week 14. I think. Let me look.
In
That's gonna be
Vegas?
cold as shit.
No, I wouldn't come back if it was in Vegas.
That's going to be cold
I don't
as
know if you
shit.
could afford it. Those tickets are expensive.
Yeah, just
Hey, I'll just go hit the slots before, make my money back, and then some, and then go to the game.
But what if you
Go
can't
hang
afford
out
a
at the
plane ticket
club
back?
area. Do what?
Bill,
What
that's
if you
not a
can't
good
afford
point.
your flight back?
I guess I'll be walking.
No,
Take
you
a-
gotta
take
hit.
a
You gotta
bus.
like with a trucker that's going cross country, and y'all just bro it out.
I swear, there's like so many.
And again,
movies
you
of
might
that
get like
stuff,
kidnapped
though.
and killed or something. We got to find you, and it's a whole thing. And yeah,
I mean, hey, if anybody's gonna one bail me out and two find me, it's one of you two up there.
that is a valid point because they who was it? Oh, they wouldn't let Graham do it because he didn't have a Kentucky ID.
That's a story for
Oh.
another time.
Yeah. Before we get off the Chiefs, I haven't looked at their schedule. If you want to go through it game by game, I don't really care. Just kind of, I want to know your wins and losses. I want to know what
Yeah,
the
let me
Chiefs are
pull
going
it.
to do this year.
Let me pull it up.
Okay,
Chiefs
well,
schedule
let
20
me
hold on.
ask you
Whoa.
this.
Whoa. All right, go.
Hold on, let me ask you this. How many games is Rashee Rice out? Because that'll make a big difference.
Isn't he out 6?
I don't know.
They haven't discussed.
No, I thought they said Rashee Rice suspension.
That's my guy. I have a Rashee Rice jersey in there that I can't wear. in
Oh, it
public
just
now.
says expected. Projection from NFL Insider is for a multi-game suspension. Doesn't look like he's going to be part of the start of the season. Opening night, again, personnel conduct.
Well,
Doesn't
he's
really
for sure
say.
not playing the first 3 weeks. Like, that's without question.
Yeah.
Let's knock him out 6 games. Let's be safe.
knock him out
I
6
would.
games.
Yeah, I was almost going to say 8 just to make it like
Okay, let's do
half
8.
the season.
Let's
do 8.
suspend him from the NFL.
No.
Okay,
let's not do
Davis,
that.
keep up with wins and losses here. Week
Okay.
1, you've got Baltimore.
I
Thursday
think
night football.
we win that ring ceremony, and we're not going to do a repeat of last year against the Lions. So, week 1 win. Week 2,
Bengals at Bengals.
I think Joe Burrow, like you said a couple weeks
Oh
ago,
wait, no,
Davis.
Bengals is in Arrowhead.
Yeah, Bengals week
Okay.
2 at home. And I think Joe Burrow's wrist is still going to bother him, and he's probably not going to be as confident to do his thing. So I think we go week 1, week 2 win. Week 3,
Falcons at Falcons.
I think we lose that game. And I think it's because we prep so much for week 1 and 2, because those are the two teams we're going to see like at the top
In
of
the
the charts by
playoffs.
the end of the season. So we'll probably lose week 3. Week 4
At Chargers.
at LA, I got it. That's going to be the tough one because I want to see how the Chargers look with Harbaugh, and we always play the Chargers close. I'm glad Trevor's not here because then we could get an argument. But I think we'll win that one, week 4. Week 5, New Orleans win. Then we have the early bye.
I don't want to hear anything about an early bye, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got to get into that too.
Week 6 buys. Week 7 at 49ers. Andy Reid is spectacular off the bye, so I think we win that one.
Pause for a second. 49ers apparently are not underdogs in any of their games opening bets right now. They are favored in every single game.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, I know one.
I'm not saying that to counter
49ers
you. I'm just
got.
telling you that's a fun fact for that. So
All right,
continue.
so you just beat the 49ers in week 7.
7.
So
Week
you're
8.
you're at 5 wins. You were 5-1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
Week
Week
8 at
8.
Las Vegas.
Win that one because they just have too much going on. Week 9, Tampa Bay. Thank goodness it's at home because if it was at away, I'd have probably put that as a loss. But I think we're going to win week 9. I think adding Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy now, but I'm still iffy on him.
You're missing the most important player.
Rasheed Rice?
No, the rugby player.
Oh, gosh. Don't get me started on that. My feelings toward that are not very high. Ugh.
Watch him be
Anyway.
a dog and he grabs his jersey halfway through the season.
I can promise you I will not wear a rugby player's jersey, even if he was a Chiefs player. Then week 10, Denver win.
Oh, whoa.
You skipped a week.
Let's go. Week 9 Bucks, he
week
said
9 was
win.
Tampa Bay
But you realize that's Monday Night Football, too.
So we're at 8 wins.
at home.
And
Still 1 loss.
Possibly got Rasheed back this week.
This
If
is
he's not
where-
suspended for the entire season after the whole photographer incident.
We're gonna find out. I hope he plays at some point.
All right,
Then-
week 10, Broncos at home.
Broncos. I'm gonna say we're gonna have a bloop here and there, and I think we win this one. It's gonna be the ugliest game of the year. And then week 11 at Buffalo, we lose.
It's cold as shit that day. Well, it shouldn't be that terrible. It's
In
November
November.
17th.
Carolina, week 12 win.
You should not have Patrick Mahomes play past the first quarter in that game, but
I hope we beat them by 30. I'd be cool
Yeah.
with that. Then 13. This would lock up the division, I believe.
yeah, because then you have the Chargers next.
Yeah. So I think we win that one against LA. Or not LA, LV. Lose to the Chargers at home. I think that's when the Chargers are going to find their stride with Harbaugh, and they're going to probably play their best football by mid to end season. So right there, we have 3 losses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
At Cleveland, sneaky game, very sneaky game because that next week,
Yeah.
prime time, Saturday, we play the Texans. So I
Well,
think we're going to lose to the Browns, beat the Texans at home,
And then rest everybody versus the Steelers.
depending on how it shapes out.
Yeah.
Like, if we beat the Steelers and it clinches like the 1 seed or the 1 or 2 seed for sure, then we'll rest them week 18, have Blaine Gabbert play quarterback, lose that game. So we lost.
You're 4 losses. I don't know if you could afford the 5th to clinch a 1 seed. You may need to play your
You
starters that
12-5
game.
at that point, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
If we play our starters week 18, we're going to win.
Yeah.
So
We'll go with that. We're not going to assume the worst.
I mean,
I'm just hoping
you're playing the Steelers Christmas Day, like
at Pittsburgh too.
at Pittsburgh. I think you win that. I don't think they're that good.
I think Justin Fields showcase Ohio
I think that's
State.
Justin Fields is starting by then for sure. But
Oh yeah.
then you got the Broncos. So you're thinking 12-5, 11-6, somewhere in there.
Yes. I think for sure. I don't think we'll get the 1 seed this year. I think
Ravens
losing
slipped out.
L'Jarius Sneed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Actually, I think that's going to be a lot bigger than what a lot of the Chiefs people think. Because man, Spagnuolo used him in so many ways, and it
Mhm.
helped Trent McDuffie a lot. Like, I think losing him's going to kind of like hurt us a little bit in the defensive area. But adding Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, like that's such a step up than what we were last year. Last year was the year that somebody else was supposed to win the Super Bowl, and we know how that turned out. But yeah, about 5 losses, 6 losses.
I
in
need
playoffs.
to stamp it. I need your record.
12-5.
12-5. I like it. What's the over under? Do you know?
I want to say it's like 11.
It's probably around there. It's
I
probably
think
like
it's like
12
10
and
and
a
a
half.
half.
Oh, if
Or
it's
no,
10 and a
11
half,
and a
you
half.
take over.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
I'll take that back. It's like 11.5.
Well, what's really stinks, and this could be the last thing we talk about the Chiefs, is like they really top heavied our schedule kind of in the area of where Rashee Rice is going to be not playing. So like we could have a bloop here and there, but yeah, I think this is probably one of our easier schedules that we have because you know usually if you win a lot, you're gonna have a tough schedule, and I think this kind of like isn't the hardest schedule we've had either. So
I'm curious to know what you guys think of Washington's schedule.
I'm about to look it up.
Pull it
Hang
up.
on.
Do you guys want to go through Washington before we get to Tennessee?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
let's
fine.
do it.
Okay. So game that I don't know if I'm going to attend a game honestly this year.
Well, we're going.
I don't know. I can't.
Oh,
I
we're
can't make
going.
that game. I can't make that game. If I'm going to any game, it's going to be the Browns game just because that fits my schedule the best. Also, wouldn't mind going to Cincinnati to the Monday night game. I'd go to the game if it was on a Sunday, but of course it's Monday night and makes it a
Prime
little
time.
bit more difficult. But I don't know. Either the Bengals, Browns, and then I guess if I hit the jackpot, I guess me and Brian are going to Washington to watch the Titans. Actually, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But we'll start week 1. New era in DC. We are in Tampa. That is going to be a loss against Tampa. I don't think they're great, but they're not a bad team. They
And they
brought all
also
those guys
have
back.
the same team as last year.
Yeah. So then we go with the home opener. We got the Giants at home. That's going to be a win. We haven't beat the Giants in like 2 years. That's going to change. I think the Giants are awful. I don't think they're a good team at all. And I really hope Washington does not play around with them. And I hope we embarrass them because the last few years it's been embarrassing losing to the Giants.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just thinking back of Malik Neighbors already being tired of.
Yeah, I really
Daniels.
wish Washington could somehow save him.
Oh, that's funny.
And then we're going to go to Cincinnati for week 3.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. We've got the LSU quarterback of Joe Burrow and the LSU quarterback of Jaden Daniels. Who's better, in my opinion? Jaden Daniels.
For sure.
God, that's getting close.
So I'm going with the wrist thing. I think Joe Burrow's going to have some problems this year with his injury.
Oh, we've heard what you say.
Yes, I've already talked about it. I think he's going to regress. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I agree full-heartedly.
I mean, you've got the big contract. You're losing a lot of players. People want out. It's typically not a good sign.
Tyler Boyd leaving, dude?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
so the
Titans just want all the recycled receivers. They don't want to get younger receivers. They just want
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
The hand-me-down receivers.
But no, Washington, if you kind of look almost every single year, they'll win a game they have no business winning, get everybody's hopes up, and then we just get our hopes crushed. And I think the Monday night game in Cincinnati is going to be that game. So We're 2-1. We're feeling good coming off the Cincy win. We're going to play Arizona. In Arizona, I think we're going to beat them. I don't think they've done a whole lot to improve. Not a believer in what they got going on. I hope they prove me wrong because I do like Marvin Harrison, but not believing it. Week 5, we're going to lose against the Browns, so I've got us 3-2. Ravens, lose, 3-3. Panthers, win. You've got to win this game. This is embarrassing if you lose. So that puts us at 4 wins. I'm trying to keep track of this.
I think it's 3-3 now. Or wait, I missed a game.
Yeah, you missed a game.
Oh gosh. All right.
Yeah, we're
Continue.
4 wins. 4 wins at the Panthers, and then we are playing the Bears. I don't know how we keep playing the Bears. This is like 3 or 4 years in a row.
This
we're playing
is
the Bears.
the troll of another podcast. It has to be.
It's comical, honestly.
Yeah.
And whatever, but we play the Bears. I don't think Washington's going to win that game. But if Washington's going to make the playoffs this stretch of the season, you've got to capitalize. You've got the Panthers, Bears, and Giants 3 games in a row. And Pittsburgh right after that. You've got to win those. Got to. But I don't think you're going to beat the Bears. I think you're going to sweep the Giants. So that puts us at 5 wins. Pittsburgh, it's one of those you got to win it, but I don't see Washington doing it. Thursday night football in Philly.
I'm
Not
so
happening.
sorry.
Washington plays good in Philly. I mean,
They
I don't know
do,
what
but-
it is.
And it's prime time.
But this is a Nick Sirianni prove it year along with Jalen Hurts, and it's going to.
But I think Philly. I think Philly's going to have a lot more issues than we think. They are stacked
Yeah.
on paper, but I think they're going to have some drama going on.
I think
Hey,
they already
Dan Quinn's
been
going to
doing
have something dialed up.
Yeah, we're going to have something for them.
revenge game.
Oh,
Dan Quinn revenge game.
Dan
next.
Quinn revenge
See,
game.
I don't know what to think of Dallas because, like, I think they're the better team.
I
But
think
at the
they
same
stink.
time, I don't think they stink. I think they're the better team. You got to look, man. Washington over here, man. It doesn't take much.
Young and hungry. Young and hungry. That's all. I'll give you this. We've had our ups and downs with our teams, but young and hungry versus they can't win in the playoffs. They can't get anywhere, and Jerry Jones didn't spend money this
Hold
summer.
on.
They don't believe in him.
Who's young?
Washington.
No.
You got a young quarterback.
What else does young?
Gary Terry.
It's scary.
He's
He's kind of old. He's kind of old.
He's heading to the
They
Titans.
send him to the
apparently.
Chiefs.
No,
beg.
I do not want to do it. I do eventually. If I got to send him anywhere, he's going to the Chiefs.
Yes, I love
But-
that.
They ain't winning this year.
No, Washington's not that young. Literally half the team is like a 1-year rental. We signed like 18 players this offseason. They're all kind of old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Dallas is going to win that game right there, particularly. And then we play the Titans.
Uh-oh. Battle of the
Pull up
podcast.
right there, brother.
The Titans are going to win.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. The Titans are going to win.
Yeah.
It pains me. And then we have a bye week.
You
What's
got a
that
nice bye week, actually.
Week 14. This is 3 years in a row. We got a week 14 bye week.
That is true. That kind of sucks.
Like it's which I will say, this travel schedule is like the least amount of miles in the league. Like they go across the Mississippi, other than the Dallas game.
But
like,
here's the
one time.
thing. Think about it like this. Let's say that you do beat Dallas the 24th. You beat Pittsburgh. You beat the Bears. You're sitting at playoff spot, and a late bye is not bad for sitting at playoff spot.
I agree, but also
that's
you've got a team with a diminished offensive line already. There's no depth, so there's going to be some injuries, and it's not going to be pretty.
True.
I can see the potential with the team. Like I can definitely see it, but I'm also extremely biased towards them. But I'm trying to be real. This was a really bad 4-win team last year that started 2-0. But losing to the Titans, I think you beat the Saints, you lose to the Eagles, lose to the Falcons, and really who cares about that Week 18 game? We're probably going to lose it. So I got to sit at 6 wins.
Which is not bad because that puts you back at like probably pick number 9, 10.
Yes, but also, which honestly, I've got that Bengals game in there too. Do I think we're going to beat the Bengals? No, but I had to put 1 in there.
Yeah,
So
you got to win one
realistically,
prime time.
maybe 5, But at the same time, I can also see them squeaking out 9. I've done a lot of different scenarios.
You don't want 9-8.
If that puts us in the playoffs, I want 9-8.
You want 9-8 to put you in the playoff, but if you're 9-8,
that's the worst spot to be in.
But I'm saying if you're 9-8 and you're not in the playoffs, that's the worst spot to be in because then you're like pick 15 and there's nobody there. I mean, there's people there, but it's not like you're not getting something really great, but you're getting to the point like the Chiefs do every year. It's like, okay, who's the best player on the board that we can take? You know, like that's just kind of how you go. So what's your win total? 5 or 9?
No, I'm going to go with 6. Right at 6.
Okay.
Now, would you be happy, like, given the whole team, like, dynamic right now, like you said, you're kind of in the rebuilding, got a new GM, whatnot. Would you rather win, like, 10 games and, like, win a playoff game, or would you rather, like, kind of stink and get a good draft pick and build through that?
Well, it depends where those wins come from. If it's a Houston situation where we're in, like, hell, we got to win now, like, yeah, that's what I want. But at the same time, this is going to be a fluke 10-win season and make the playoffs. Like Ron Rivera's first year, I mean, it was like an 8-win division title, but you won the division title, you got a first-place schedule the next season, and you were terrible the next 3 years. Like, you just ruined your draft position. They won too early. So I don't want to see that scenario play out again.
I wonder if they're doing rental players because how many people are going to be free agents next year? Because there's a shit ton of free agents next year. Like T. Higgins is technically supposed to be a free agent. L'Jarius Sneed, like there's a lot of guys who are probably on that 1-year rental because it's like, hey, there's a lot of people coming out next year.
See, that's in Washington still got a ton of money left. So I mean they can play with that. But I mean the key for the next year or two, it's build through the draft. I mean that's Adam Peters to a T. You're going to build through the draft, and then you're going to plug and play and load up in free agency. This year is not the year for it. We're not ready. So there's no point in us going and signing the Patrick Queens or trying to get the T. Higgins or any of these names. Like Brandon Ayuk, that's something he's been connected to Washington a little bit on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
That'd be nice.
The Rangers came back and won.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, yeah.
They won 5-3.
Damn.
They came back and scored 4 goals in a period.
That is
nuts. All right, I'm cool. Let's win this tomorrow. All right, sorry for interrupting, but that was breaking, so we had to do that.
No, it's all good. But no, this Washington team's not good, and the players that Ron drafted they're not good, and the guys that like we got last year. Coaching makes a huge difference, and that's what I'm relying on. I'm relying on these guys getting their careers essentially revived because a lot of them are headed out the door next year. So I'm really hoping that's the case. That's best case scenario if we can retain some of the guys that Ron did draft. But, I mean, I think 48% of our team returned from last year, which is insane. Like, we have a brand new team.
Gotcha.
Well, we'll get to the Titans and then PGA Championship weekend picks, and we'll be out of your hair. But all right, 5 to 9 wins is what we're thinking for the commies.
Yeah, but I'm sticking right at 6. That's my guess. It's a brutal schedule. Me looking at it, I don't know what you guys thought, but it
is. It's a tough one. But I honestly don't think Dallas is that good. I think that you could almost sweep them if you want me to be completely honest.
If that's the case, then you're looking at a playoff scenario if you can sweep.
Yeah, but yes, they have CD and Dak, but I don't think they got better, and I don't think Micah Parsons wants to be there. To be honest,
that's safe to say. I think Dallas, if anything, got worse in the offseason, especially because everybody else in the division got better.
And Jerry Jones was sleeping all free agency. Like Derrick Henry was tied to them for so long, and it comes out that nobody ever called him and offered him. And they said when they found out what it was, that was too much money. But then you go pay Zeke what you paid him. That's insane.
I didn't even see that contract, honestly.
Yeah. All right, let's do Titans. So, first of all, thank you, NFL, again for disrespecting the Titans. I think this is like the 3rd year in a row we have not had a Week 1 home opener. Week 1, somebody keep up with wins for me here. Week 1, you go to Chicago and play the Bears, our birthday weekend, Hou Bill. I want to make that trip. I think that'd be cool as shit to see, being one of the most historic NFL franchises, just their stadium, especially before they move to a new one in a couple years. To see that, I honestly believe that they take this one. I think we're going to find out what that wide receiver core with their quarterback looks like, but I think the Titans win the home opener. That's a debut for the new coaching staff, for a lot of defensive players. I think we have the right amount of cornerbacks and the right people in the secondary to take care of the receivers, but I think you win this one. Week 2, you play the Jets at home. Our home opener, I think you lose it. Here's what I'll say. I think you lose this game unless Aaron Rodgers' Achilles does the funniest thing in the world. The other one does the funniest thing in the entire world week 1.
He needs to just let it go.
We're going to put an L with an asterisk on this because I think that you lose this one if Aaron plays, to be honest. Just because it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I could potentially be at that game.
That would be cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Bowden. Yeah.
Yes.
Bowden.
Yeah,
never mind. We're winning
gotta
this
be a
game. We're winning this game. How about that, Bowden? Green Bay. This one's a toss-up for me because I don't know how we're going to play. I don't know how we're going to do this. Apparently, we're going to be throwing the ball on first down. We're not going to be as a predictable offense with Derrick Henry now off the field. If this coaching staff lives up to what I think they're going to, I can see us beating Green Bay here, no problem. I can still see us beating the Jets too, but I think you can win against Green Bay. I really do. I think they're a good team, but I think that they can beat them here.
I've got it flipped. I got you beating the Jets and then losing to the Packers.
These two games are such toss-ups for me. It's so hard. Like when this came out, I was like, we could go 2-2 here, we could go 4-0, or we could go 1-3. It just kind of depends on how they're going to play. And if we're going to mirror the Bengals offense and they've got a really good defensive coordinator in there, I think it's possible to even be 2-2 or 3-1.
Your first 3 games, though, are teams that it's kind of like they have the potential to be pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they also have we don't know. We'll have to see.
And that brings me to my next point of Miami Monday Night Football, our only primetime game of the year, back in Miami, which, again, disrespect from the NFL. We played in Miami Monday Night Football last year. We don't have a primetime game at home this year, but we're back in Miami at the end of the month to play them. And I think you beat them. But again, it's one of those things. I don't know how good they're going to be, but they got rid of a lot of players, and I don't think they got better. But Mike McDaniel is – he's an offensive guru. So I don't know. Or is he going to be fine? I think this is going to be the first year where, is he fine with losing all the players he's lost? Or is this going to make him take a step back and be like, what the hell do I do? So –
yeah. They just, man, the Dolphins are so hit or miss because they lost Wilkins in the offseason, and he was a beast in the middle for that defense, and now they have to rely solely on edge rushers.
Yeah.
So, and is Tua going to be what he was last year? I mean, he kind of choked in the playoffs, and that can mess with the mental aspect of a quarterback. They're a toss-up, man. They could either be really good or really bad.
I mean, I can
Jets.
honestly see us 1-3, 3-1, 2-2. It just kind of depends. But I think that's also, I'm still thinking back to last year, that old school Titans football where it's run, pass, punt. You know what I mean? We're so predictable. I don't know how this is going to go.
It's going to be so cool because that's how Washington was. Having Eric Bieniemy, all we did was throw the ball, and it's awesome. But it's really bad when you suck and you never run the ball.
But my thing is I agree with this take on the Titans is Will Levis does not have the excuse this year. He's got a good offensive line coach. He's got a decent offensive line, and he's got weapons to use. And I think he didn't have the excuse last year. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying does he take that 1 to 2 year step like we normally talk about, and does he get it? Because, he's still got that chip on his shoulder of dropping out of the first round. He's got that new chip on his shoulder of Vrabel not letting him run the offense the way they should have ran the offense, and I think that he gets that here. And he's looked so he looks so fucking excited to play football, man. I'm so excited.
You're
Like,
gonna
it's gonna be
see
dope.
how that arm talent is with him.
Yeah. So then you go into another disrespect by the NFL. We get a week 5 bye, which I think is bullshit, but whatever. Then you go play the Colts at home. I will say this every time. The Colts stink this year. They did not get better. You beat the Colts at home. You go play Buffalo at Buffalo. I think you lose that game because it's Buffalo. You play the Lions at the Lions. That's 2 road away games. I think you lose to the Lions there. The Lions, I think, are just better than we are, really and truly. But, I mean, I would hope to win that one, but I think they're just better. And then you go to Patriots at home, week 9. I think you win that.
You have to win that with the way your schedule looks so far. You have
to beat the Patriots there. And then you do the Chargers in LA. Again, it kind of goes back to what Bill was saying at the Chiefs. It's going to be more determined on how Harbaugh runs this offense, really and truly. I think on paper we're the better team than the Chargers, but I think that they can beat us because Harbaugh's a good coach. Because I don't know how Brian Callahan coaches. I know how he coaches an offense, but how does he lead a team? You know what I mean? And then the Vikings, I think you win at home against the Vikings. I think that's going to be the game that I try to go to at home, maybe both the Jets and that one, because I think that'd be fun. All of us go because Graham's a Vikings fan. We can have him wear the Vikings jersey, Tennessee hat, since he has both, and let it rip. And then I'll say this so I can make it a little bit quicker. I have always hated when teams play their division schedule the last weeks of the season and you go out playing. We're literally playing 3 in a row to end the season. I hate that. I've never liked it.
We got that a couple of years ago. It's the worst.
And for the last 3 or 4 years, we haven't done that. We've played the Jags. We played the Texans week 16, 15, and then you play the Jags the last one of the season. I hate this. I really do. But I think you lose to the Texans at the Texans. I think there's a lot of hype around the Oilers jersey that they're going to be wearing. I think you lose at the Texans. I think you beat Washington in Washington. I think you beat the Jags at home. I think you lose to the Bengals at home, even though it's a homecoming for Brian Callahan and Odunze, or not Odunze. I can't think of his name. I can't pronounce it. But the cornerback we got, Tyler Boyd, I can see you winning that at home. I like that it's at home, but I feel that that's a loss, depending on how Joe Burrow is playing. If his hand's gone, chalk it as a W. I think that you beat the Colts there, you lose to the Jags, and then you beat the Texans at home to finish it out.
That'll be a great game.
Because
that'll probably determine if, the way it's looking, if
you won't be sitting. How much is it? I said 10-7.
Okay.
I think our over-under wins when it first came out was 5.5. But I think that we don't get any respect throughout the NFL. I think that we quietly got better. But I don't think the Week 18 game's obviously going to be one that you sit your starters. Unless the Texans have pummeled everybody and are undefeated in the division. It's like there's no point. You know what I mean? But I think you sweep the Colts, go 1-1 with the Texans and Jags. Go 10-7, make the playoffs, and you're looking pretty set.
Man, this is kind of a tough schedule too.
Oh, it's not. I think they were 7th highest strength of schedule. It's a tough schedule. I mean, you're looking at the Bears, who stunk last year but got better this offseason. You have the Jets, who should have been a playoff team last year if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt. You have Green Bay, who was a playoff team, Miami, who was a playoff team, the Colts, who didn't get better, in my opinion, the Bills, who are a playoff team, the Lions, who are a playoff team, Patriots stink, Chargers will be decent this year, I think. Vikings were a playoff team last year, but I don't think they're better this year. Texans are a playoff team. Washington, I think, is in the same boat as us. Jags, who played really well the first half of the season last year, but stunk at the end. Bengals, who should be a playoff team if Burrow plays and is healthy. I mean, you've got to. The last 5 weeks are a gauntlet.
Well, what's
'Cause-
hard about your schedule too is like the AFC South, there's so many question marks on the quarterback position. Like Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's got to figure out how to break that ceiling. CJ Stroud had a good year.
But
Anthony
was it a
Richardson's
fluke?
coming off an injury. So like,
Yeah. It's a lot of question marks, and it's a lot of you've got some hungry younger guys that are ready to prove it. I mean, you've got
Mhm.
Levis, who him and Stroud are the same year, so you got year 2 leaps that they're going to take. Was the Texans run a fluke? Are they actually that good? Is D'Amico Ryan the guy for them? Is Trevor Lawrence ever going to take that gap he's supposed to? I don't think he will. I don't think he's that great. And I'm not saying as a Titans fan, as a football guy, you can't tell me that he's that great. I mean, he's
you
not.
think
He's
by
not what he's
now
supposed
he
to
would have
live up.
got there.
What was he? The number 2 pick?
One.
Number 1 pick.
Yeah, he should. He's not. I don't think he's living up to that. I mean, how many playoffs have they made? One.
Hey,
think
they
so.
had one of the biggest comebacks ever.
True. So
It did. I fell
Chargers.
asleep during that game, and I woke up, and it was over, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
AFC South is a question mark that will have to be answered this year, and I think we'll be all right. I think we can. The problem with the AFC is it's so tough. If you go 10-7, you have to beat the Chargers in there. You have to beat the Patriots in there, or you have to beat the Bills. One of those 3 teams you've got to beat to make the playoffs. If everybody's sitting at 10-7, because you got to have a tiebreaker somewhere. So that's all I got. We'll let Lamar do the Charger schedule next week when he's in here. So, anything else on schedule?
So you're really bullish on the Titans with that 5.5 line.
Yeah, I'm going over 100%.
I like
Like, you
it.
should alt it to 7.
I'm going to look and see if there's an alternate line, because I really do think if this isn't all smoke from Brian Callahan, and I really do believe in Bill Callahan, this is going to be a decent team.
On paper, it looks
On paper, you look good.
pretty good.
Can you put it together? Same thing with Kentucky basketball. Can you put it together? So,
And one thing about Callahan too, and it's such a different dynamic than Vrabel. I think you said it a little bit earlier. Like, there's going to be so much unpredictability. Now you're not guaranteed the yards, but man, you're going to see a lot more deep shots, kind of like when AJ Brown was back in the Titans. You hit him with that play action over the top. Like,
100%.
You're going to enjoy throwing the ball now.
Oh, a hell of a lot more than we ever did before. So I'm excited. I'm ready to roll. Let's just hope it all works out. So, all right. PGA Championship. We can make this kind of quick. I mentioned earlier that Rory won the Wells Fargo. He comes back this week, and him and his wife are filing for divorce. And does anybody know what happened the last time he broke off an engagement?
But what do you do?
He won the PGA Championship in
Hey,
2014.
City boys up.
And
City
if you
boys
look
are
at
up.
it, he won the week before the PGA Championship. They broke off their engagement literally the week of the PGA Championship, and he went out and won it. So I have sprinkled a nice little win on Roy to win it right now.
Let's go.
And I think he is sitting at tied for 5th, 5 under, and he's only 4 shots off the lead.
Xander made them boys work. 62 is insane.
Yeah.
Round 1. You got to be feeling good going into the rest of the week.
I saw Dan, but here's the thing about Xander, man. He does this shit all the time. He will shoot a 62 today. He'll go out and shoot a 72 tomorrow, and everybody will catch back up to him.
Well, I needed a 62 during the Masters because he was my Masters pick. So maybe I was one major too early.
My favorite golfer, though, is tied for 2nd at Tony Finau at 6 under. So I hope he can continue the push. I'd love to see him get this, honestly. So where did Scotty Scheffler end up? Max Homa tied for 18th. I don't see.
Scheffler's
Here
4
he
under.
is. He's 4 under. Did y'all see his first hole today?
Yeah, start out
Was it
2
the
under on
eagle?
the first hole. It's hard.
He eagled out from
that.
170 out with a 9-iron. That's insane.
That's so crazy, dude. I can't hit it straight. I can barely hit it left, and I can barely hit it right. Like, I don't know. Golf is, if you're good at golf, man, all respect to you.
Yeah. And then I was watching the practice round. I think it was yesterday, and Tiger was walking, and it looked like last year when he was walking so stiff at the Masters. Like, I mean, he was like, couldn't move his back, couldn't do anything. But then when I tuned in today, he looked like he was moving a little bit better. I think he pretty positive he eagled a hole. I think he eagled 13 today. I think he's sitting at 1 over. I don't expect him to win this, but at least he's not looking like he did Wednesday. That's a plus. So
Just look up John Daly. He's 11 over.
yeah, and he gets to ride in a golf cart. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, but he can't put his bag in the golf
Yeah,
cart.
so that's a rule for the PGA that he can ride in the golf cart, but his club and his caddy cannot. They have to walk behind him. So he's just ripping cigs out there just on his golf cart, which is kind of awesome.
See, if I went to a
That's my
tournament,
kind
I'd
of
have to
golfer.
go on Thursday. So I want to get to see John Daly before I die.
Yeah. Yeah.
But speaking of Tiger, have you guys seen his new clothing brand, Sunday Red?
I'm not a fan. The logo looks weird.
Man, and see, like, I'm cool with the logo, but like, man, I was so excited. Like, I was like, man, I'm gonna buy me some polos, buy all kinds of stuff because Tiger's the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the logo's not my favorite. But, I can get behind it. One, clothes are way too damn expensive.
How
Two,
much are they?
they're ugly, man.
I think the polos are like $125. They're like normal
Oh.
PGA prices.
I'm looking at a freaking T-shirt right now for $125.
Goodness.
Here's a polo, $120. There's like no logo on them. Like it's just a plain polo. I can go to TJ Maxx and find this.
It's some
wow.
Peter Millar looking.
This is awful. I'm upset. Here's a $150 polo. Like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I might buy some anyway, though.
Hey, might as well. You're already on the website. You might as well go ahead and put it in the
I
cart.
just clicked off of it. It's over.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if Shoffley holds on, that's good for him. I just can't see it. He's let me down too many times before, but McIlroy's in the running. I mean, everybody's in the running as of now. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But yeah, we've got a baby alert on Scotty because he just had a newborn this past weekend, I believe. And then you've got Rory filing for divorce with his wife. So that's divorce watch. We got baby and divorce watch all in one tournament. And then you got Brooks looking to be back-to-back. So this is going to be a fun one to watch. It's great for Kentucky. I'm excited for us. I think this is awesome. Getting a Kentucky Derby like we did a couple weeks ago and then getting PGA Tour here all in 1 year is awesome. Can't wait for it. So, all right. Let's wrap this up with weekend picks. I don't care which one of you wants to go first, but I know what I'm doing for the week. So if y'all are ready, go ahead.
I am not. I need a second.
Okay. Well, I will go. I'm going to give you something a little bit different here. I'm going to give you a money line bet for each day, starting with Friday. So Fridays is obviously going to be Panthers money line. Then I'm going to give you Saturday, which is going to be Thunder money line. And then Sunday is going to – I don't know if I can do it, man. I want to put Rory money line or Rory to win the PGA Championship, but you know what? We're going to do it. Rory to win PGA Championship. So
right.
That's going to be mine.
I can't even find my mouse. Okay, there it is. Let's see. I'd
it's a
probably
3-day
follow you on
three-leg.
the Panthers win. Hot goalie. Gotta ride the pine,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna go Miles Turner over 2.5 blocks, mixed in with Josh Hart rebound, assist, points over. I wish I knew the line. I know he's gonna probably get it for rebound and assist. It's probably around like 15.5, if not a little bit more. I'd probably take the over on that. And then let's see. And then Luka Doncic. He had like an 8.5 assist line last night. And if it's around there at home, I'd probably take the over on that.
Okay.
And then this is for the future, because I don't know when the next time I'll be on here. Real Madrid money line Champions League, if not over 1.5 goal win.
When's that going to be?
Let me look it up.
Real Madrid what? 1.5
Champions
cover?
League. I think they would win by 2 goals plus.
You got them winning the Champions League?
Mm-hmm. They play Bayern Munich. Or not Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say we're going to see a game 7
For the Knicks?
for Minnesota and
Yeah.
Denver.
Have you seen that score right now?
Yeah, I am. But also I'm watching Anthony Edwards lay on the ground. He might be dead.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
wow.
I
It's
need to-
66 to 42. So,
Yeah, it's really quiet right now.
all right, Davis.
I'm just gonna give you one. The money on it, I think, is a decent payout. I've yet to hit one of these so far, but this week we've got the All-Star race, so we're not racing for points this week. We're racing for $1 million, not points. But we're at North Wilkesboro, and we're at a short track. And I'm gonna go with. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna go with Denny Hamlin to win it. I feel like, he's the favorite at plus 550. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. He's been the hottest driver. Him and Kyle Larson's tossed up in between. Actually, I take it back. Scratch Denny Hamlin. I'm going Kyle Larson because it's a plus 850 instead of 550. So Kyle Larson to win it.
You said it's how much?
It's plus 850.
Okay.
So I'm riding with Kyle Larson at the short track. So if you want to tune in, short track racing means a lot of banging dudes. That's how you get around. So this would be you're going to see tempers flared. You're going to see people pissed off. Might even see a fight. We're racing for $1 million. Tune in this weekend. I promise you, it will change your life.
Okay. The last weekend picks thing that I have is for everybody who listens and watches. We would love to see your bet. So if you could tweet us at JBA Pod, we would love to see your bets. Get them to us by, this comes out Friday morning. Get them to us by Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, and we will go through them. We will pick them, and between me, Davis, Houston, and Lamar now, we will tell. We might fade them, but we will most likely tell if you send us something good that can make us money that you're going to make money on, send it to us. We're going to tell. But yeah, so send us your bets. Tweet us out.
Please
to
make
tweet
me
them out
some
to us.
money.
Yeah.
Please make me some money.
All right, fellas. Anything else?
Hey, glad to be on here. About time. I have been asking to be on this podcast since episode 1. And I am finally here, and I am so glad that I got to spend this, hour and a half with you fellas?
That's
What a
right.
blessing.
Well, Bill, we do appreciate you coming on. This was fun. We will have you on again. Don't you worry. But as always, we appreciate everybody who listens. We appreciate everybody who watches. Make sure you get your bets to us. We would love to see them. Tweet them to us, please, so that we can tell. We can make money together. As always, this episode is brought to you by Way Good. Sweet treat for that sweet tooth. I know Davis is probably fixing to go get one before he hits the sack tonight.
It just advice for the people. Cutting is a great form of depression. If you want to be depressed, just cut.
Yeah.
Life's not easy right now.
Life sucks. And if you're cutting, it makes it even a little worse.
Yeah.
But you can make it better with Way Good. So, as always, we will see you next week. We appreciate you listening. Peace.